Hey guys, as I wait for some more mods to be updated to Minecraft 1.18.2, I thought I'd cover another 1.16.5 video. There's about 15 mods here which are quite popular and add some interesting items and creatures. You can find the link to download any of these in the description below, and I'll have some videos for the latest version coming very soon. First up, we have the Locksmith mod. With it installed, you can create a locksmithing table from 4 planks and 2 iron nuggets. A blank lock can then be crafted from 6 iron ingots and 2 iron nuggets. When you place these items inside the locksmithing table, they'll be bound to each other. By holding the lock and sneaking, it can be applied to interactive blocks like doors, gates, barrels, and chests. If you get locked out of something or want to break into someone else's stuff, you can use a lockpick. There's a little mini game where you have to use the lockpick in the right order, and you should use sounds to listen for the clicks. Homing Ender Eye adds a really simple but useful feature. If an Ender Eye breaks after releasing it, instead of disappearing, it will be sent to the portal frame, so you should never have to worry about carrying enough Ender Eyes. Lucky TNT adds over 150 explosives into Minecraft, which consists of new TNT blocks and throwable dynamite. Instead of just being different explosion sizes, these explosives will have different effects and abilities. For example, you can summon a meteor storm or meteor shower, which will deal some devastating blows to an area. The wither storm will infest an area with soul sand, while summoning a wither and tons of wither skeletons. Or you could use the death ray to slowly summon hundreds of TNT over a large area. If you think these examples sound interesting, then you'll be happy to know there's dozens more like it. Carts brings a small expansion to the minecart system. Firstly, there's a train which you can sit inside of, and it can be crafted from a minecart and a redstone dust. It accepts fuel into its inventory, like coal, which allows it to move without momentum or any sort of powered rails. The mod does include some new rails too, such as 4-way tracks and turnable pieces which can be triggered with redstone. When driving the train, you can manually adjust the speed it moves at, and by pressing P, the direction it's moving can be changed. Furnish gives you access to lots of new decoration items, and to start you'll need to craft the furniture workbench. Inside it you can place different items. Adding a plank, for example, allows you to craft bedside tables, potion shelves, crates, and more. You should use just enough items to see the recipe of every item. A lot of the items have interactions. You can sit on chairs, store items in cabinets, open shutters, and display items on shelves. There's also sofas, awning blocks, showcases, and curtains to decorate your home with. Duckery adds around 100 new ducks into Minecraft, with a lot of them being found naturally. They have different tiers and stats like strength, food, and number of times you can breed it. You can see the information of a duck by creating a duck stick and right-clicking on them. Their stats can be increased by feeding them items like duck feed and duck spawn feed. Though, where this mod is most useful is that ducks will often drop resources depending on their theme. So there's ducks that can drop items like flint and gravel, all the way up to diamonds and blaze rods. Just Enough Golems adds some new golems, with the first being the plant golem. They can be summoned with precious mossy cobblestone and a carved pumpkin, which requires 4 mossy cobblestone and a diamond. They can pick up items like seeds, carrots, and potatoes, and will automatically plant them at the nearest empty farmland block. The mod also introduces a mossy observer, which fires a redstone signal when a crop becomes fully grown in front of it. The next one is the magma golem, and the easiest way to summon it is by using lava on crying obsidian to create a magmatic block, and then place a carved pumpkin on top. It can be activated with a blaze rod and given a sword so that it'll fight any hostile creatures attacking you. They can also be upgraded into warriors so they can deal more damage and take out tougher creatures, but it's an expensive process. Ottercraft spawns in otters, who can mostly be found along rivers and in swamps. They're semi-aquatic animals and like to play in both the water and on land. They can be tamed by feeding them cod or raw salmon, and they'll wear little life jackets which can have a dye applied to them. You can also breed tamed otters by feeding them fish too. Tamed otters will follow you on adventures, and the developer has some big plans which are hopefully added in the future, like being able to ride giant otters. Infinite Dungeons adds 3 new keys, which are the Skeletal, Nether, and Void key, and they have a rare chance of being dropped by hostile mobs. When you interact with a key, you can see 5 different dungeons which you can enter, such as Abandoned Prison, Undead Graveyard, and Imbued Tree Cave, which you'll be teleported to. These aren't just regular dungeons, as there's challenges. For example, in the Abandoned Prison, you have to kill at least over 100 zombies, and they won't stop spawning until the entire dungeon is cleared. Over time, they'll spawn faster and start equipping armor. The zombies will also drop coins, with the chance depending on the difficulty of the dungeon. And once it's cleared, you can spend these coins on rewards, with more rewards also being available depending on the difficulty. After a short amount of time, the dungeon will self-destruct, and you'll be sent back. Ore Prospecting Sticks adds 10 different sticks to Minecraft, representing materials like diamond, gold, nether debris, and emerald. And each one can be crafted from 3 of their respective materials. When holding a stick and right-clicking, it will play a bell sound whenever the ore your stick matches is below you. They only work on a vertical axis, so hold the stick while moving around until you hear the dinging sound, then dig up or down. You can collect a soul shard by combining 4 obsidian, 4 quartz blocks, and a diamond. After killing a mob, that creature's soul will be bound to the shard, and you'll need to collect more souls to increase the tier. You can speed up the process by creating a vile sword, which gives you an additional soul per kill. Once you've collected enough souls, you can create a soul cage. This item, as well as the vile sword, requires corrupted ingots, which uses new items like corrupted essence and vile dust. So the mod is gated behind the nether. When you add the soul shard to the soul cage, the creature will spawn indefinitely. Cataclysm adds some new dungeons, with the first being the Ruined Citadel. It's a huge structure and has multiple floors. There's a few new mobs, and the first mini-boss you'll find there is the Ender Golem. It has 150 health and some different attack styles. If you kill it, then it can drop its Void Core, which summons spikes in front of you. Deeper in the dungeon is the Ender Guardian boss, who has 300 health. It's a lot stronger than the Ender Golem, doing attacks like uppercuts, gravity pulls, and void runes. It drops the Gauntlet of Guard, which summons entities to you, like a magnet. In the Nether, you can find the Blacksmith of the Soul. Here you'll find the Netherite Monstrosity, which has almost 400 health. It's going to be really difficult to defeat this boss, as it can fire lava at you, setting you on fire, so make sure to bring fire resistance. When you kill the Netherite Monstrosity, it will drop the Infernal Forge, which deals damage in a large area. Another quick and easy mod is Merchant Markers. Villagers in your world who have a profession will have markers visible above their head, so finding the villager you need should hopefully be a bit easier now. A new survival mechanic comes with Sanity and Insanity, which is basically about your mental state. Eating good foods, having a pet dog, and resting will keep you sane, whereas eating bad foods, not sleeping, and trampling on farmland will lower your sanity over time, which can be seen above the hotbar. If your sanity gets too low, you'll go insane, which will cause you to lose vision, take damage, move slower, and even hallucinate. Biomes Far Away adds over 60 new biomes into Minecraft and includes the wheat fields, aspen forest, blue mountains, lush deserts, rainforests, shrublands, and more. Lots of new wood types are implemented with the wood, as well as some other interesting looking blocks, like big bamboo or slim cactus. There's lots of interesting terrains and colors, especially when looking at places like the wind-withered mountains or the blue forest, which looks more enchanted and magical. That's the end of this video, and hopefully you like the look of some of these mods. I've covered many more mods for this version, which can be found on the screen right now. And make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on my latest videos.